I was chatting to Guy there, and he was kind of saying even the getting everybody on the bus again and getting around is good for because there's only one pre-season game for you guys, so this is a good kind of way of kind of getting everybody together, kind of like a bonding session as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's been good. So we set off yesterday morning nice and early. One group, as I said, headed to Ashburn, another group up to Dundalk. The IT up there have an unbelievable facility, so came together in Mullingar, had our lunch there, very good stories just around the setup of the club. Off to Longford then, it's almost like in terms of the province, Longford is like one of the furthest, probably outpost north, and Kilkenny, so we had another group in Kilkenny this morning, but we came back, did dinner in Tullamore last night. Good stories there as well. A few Offaly lads obviously played in the squad in the last couple of years, so with Mikey Milne gave us a bit of a background around Offaly, rugby and Offaly. Down to Portlaoise last night, so as a group, Marcy gave us a bit of a what's what about Kildare, so we've got a few Kildare guys in the squad, so we'll head across to Carlo, as I said. But it's been great out and about.
Yeah. And then I suppose like there's only one pre-season game for you guys, and I think Zebre starts the season then. How are you going to do it, to integrate the Irish guys and coming back? Is it going to just be kind of drip them in over the first few games, or is it going to be do you know how? Do you already kind of have an idea about who the first couple of teams are going to be?
Yeah, and it's very much case by case as always is. So a few guys always manage a few niggles off the back of a tour like that. So we just integrate guys as you say, bit by piece. So there was a good chunk of them away. So a bit of management involved. You see, even some of the guys that obviously were on tour were training here today. Another group dead in Kilkenny. But we've a game against Harlequins next week. And we'll see how we go. We've got opportunity for a few young guys in particular. So see where our guys sit after that. We don't have a game the following week, and then we're into Zebra, as you said, the week after that. So, and then the internationals just start filtering back into the group then week by week. So we'll just see how guys are travelling individually.
And then a few kind of even faces there that fans kind of be kind of like new enough faces as well, new kind of coaches as well. There's been a bit of a break. Last season didn't end the way you guys wanted it, but are you kind of feeling enthused going into the new season, ready to rock and kind of go that step further if you can then this season?
Yeah, of course. There are a lot of great things across last season. You get to European final, every team is setting out, they want to get to that big day in Marseille in Europe. We get there, we're winning with a couple minutes to go, you lose the game, it's a real gut wrencher really. But that's the sport, and you've got to be able to learn, and isn't it because it's the sport, it's winners and losers. Unfortunately we didn't win that day. We would have loved to, but there's lots of things that came out of that. You see it in some of the tests that Ireland played during the summer, and there's decision making around some of the key moments in the game. There's some of those moments ultimately decide the winners and the losers. So plenty of bits that we've learned from. And then you go into the URC, and that's the dynamic of the season the way it is now. So there's a lot of playoff games the way it's tiered, because even the way URC is. So there's that stamina piece that you need. It'd be interesting how again the South African teams go, because the URC was their sole focus last year, whereas now they have the challenge of dealing with Europe as well. So how they go there, that's the evolution for them. We're hugely excited. It's great to be out and about with the province. We went through the COVID season last year, then you're getting back into trying to get crowds back, but it's important we try and build these connections, because even last year we still had those red zones where we're supposed to be COVID, and even during the last season we had our COVID issues. Every team had their moments with the games being called off around Christmas time and not being able to fulfil the fixtures, and all those games getting rescheduled in Christmas. So there was a bit of, fatigue caused by probably some of the COVID piece. So we had a decent break over the summer, and everyone's energised, ready to go. And it's amazing to see some of the faces of the kids over the course of the last couple of days, because that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? All the lads were one of those kids, bright-eyed, wanting to go on and represent Leinster and Ireland. And it's been out and about over the last couple of days. I think it's probably affirmed that even more than it's ever been in the past.
Brilliant. And then the last one I was going to ask you is just a few faces moved on, almost like guys who had that experience moved on, the guys who off to Connacht, and then the likes of Rory O'Loughlin as well. So you can see lots of kind of fresh faces in there, but it's a chance again. I think I spoke to Stuart about this last season. It's a chance for guys as well to kind of say, there's a space for you now. Go and kind of grab the opportunity this year. Is that the kind of way it is for the young guys?
Well, we're all a year older.
Yeah.
So some players, as we know, they move on at the end of the season. That's very much the way, I guess, the model works. Like there's a 3-year academy cycle, and all those academy players, when they finish, you need to create some space for them. So some young guys will step in. Like a classic example, like the likes of Joe McCarthy, was only really a year 2 academy player, starting off, made his debut for Leinster during the Six Nations, goes on to be involved in the European Cup final at the end of the season. And that's what you want, really. So we have a number of academy players training with us today. Who's going to be the ones that step up? Joe goes on to play for Ireland at the end of the season tour. So you want those stories, really. So we brought in a couple of foreign faces. Charlie Ngatai gives a lot of experience to the group because we've so many young players going through. It's where does the experience piece come from? So he's someone who played for the All Blacks, very successful Chiefs team back in Super Rugby days, and then Jason Jenkins, who's come through, South African international. You see him walking around there, so
big guy,
big, exactly, yeah. And just with the addition of South African teams, just some of the IP that he has there, it's important for us to understand that mindset, that type of game. So South Africa are the world champions. They have a URC, obviously all South African final, the way it played out in the end. So we need to understand that mindset. So hopefully those guys can have it well.
Perfect. All right, great stuff. Good luck with the season as well.
Thanks.
Cheers for that.
Cheers, folks. Yeah.